Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. This is the Spot Hogg Boonie, one of the most popular sights I have, right? I haven't literally opened it or tried it out, so we're going to discuss it. It comes in a whole bunch of models, 18 to be precise, so that's not including left or right-handed, so it'll make it 36. So it comes in hard mount, that bolts directly onto your bow. Comes in dovetail, so that way you can take it off and move it forward or back. The reason why you want to move it forward or back is so your peep sight and sight are at the same size. Okay, when you look through your peep and your sight, so moving it in increases the size, moving it out decreases the size of the sight. Okay, and it also comes in a Picatinny mount for all the bows that just mount on the front. So three mounting types, and then it comes in single pin, double pin, triple stack, 3 pin, 5 pin, and 7 pin. So there's all the pin options. So let's just discuss the pins. So the single pin, so when you're adjusting your sight, you go up or down. The double pin has 2 fixed pins, so generally like 10 and 20. The triple stack, each pin is adjustable individually, okay? So that way you could set like 10, 15, 10, you'd probably do 15, 30, 45. That's what I'd do. And then you'd have the moving for like longer distances. And then you've got your 3 pins, so that's the pins moving towards each other, and 5 pins the same, and 7 pins the same. So this is more expensive than the Fast Eddy. The Fast Eddy was very, very popular. This is more so popular and more expensive. So bit about Spot Hogg. So an American company, the guy who owns it, Keith, I'm pretty sure he owns it, they've made really solid stuff since I was a kid, right? I think the story goes they used to make stuff for Golden Key, rests and stuff, and so this is the box. So cardboard box, so that's great because, you know, we don't like plastics. Most hunters are environmentally aware, conscious and all that sort of stuff, so I think that's great, right? Comes with these little rings, so different rings that you can screw on, so 1 ring, 3 rings, and the other one's got 3 rings, but it must be bigger. The reason they have three rings is for, again, lining up your peep sight so you can see the number of rings, so that way you can see if you're talking the boat, okay? Right, there's a little note in here that it was leveled by WYLA, whoever that is. So that means I've done your 3rd axis and all that sort of stuff in the factory. That's good. So, bit about Spot Hogg. In all my years of selling their rests, selling their sights, release aids, I don't think I've ever had one returned. Okay, so we're talking 40 odd years. I don't think anything has ever been returned from Spot Hogg. It's just a bulletproof product. This will be no different. Okay, so it means for everyone who breaks stuff, the whole bunch of you out there who fiddle and over-tighten things, this has been, I feel like someone's broken one of these, over-tightening them, and I'll explain that. Right, so this is the little thing that detaches. This unscrews, so you can screw the other ones on. And your lens can fit in here, right? Now, lots of people ask about what lenses fit in, and I will say I don't know. I think Spot Hogg should have lenses which they sell that fit in here. Because, yeah, you can source the lens from somewhere, but you're going to ring me, and then I'm going to say I don't know. And you're going to say, well, how do you not know? You're an archery shop. And I'm going to go, I just don't know. I don't know. Right, so this is a 3 stack. This is a 3 pin sight. Now, each of these pins, you've got micro adjustment on the back here. This is a push-pull system. So one, you don't screw both in. One, you've got to loosen, and then the other one you push, and that moves the pin up and down. So it's like on a lever, if that makes sense. So you've got 2 little screws pushing in from the side, and by pushing in, moves one down. So look, you could strip that out by pushing both in, but, you know, most people don't. Most people don't. Right. This is the thing here that people have stuffed up before. So this is your third axis. It's on like a pivot. So I think some people have stripped these out. I think one has, because I feel like I've worn the cost of that before. You can move the height up and down here on the bracket. So why do you want that? Because you move it up or down on your face. Like some people anchor high, some people anchor low. So you move your sight up or down here. It's got a lock-in system here. Lock-in system, that's for left and right. So to move your sight left to right, you loosen, and then you've got micro adjustment. Clicks, just there on the side. It's simple, it works. Right, so your up and down system. You see the cogs here. Cogs here. You've got to loosen this. This is a lock, so it's just lock, unlock, and now it floats, right? So now it floats, and then you lock it in. Why do you lock it in? Because you've got your sight set for 3 pins. So you've got your 3 pins, 15, 30, 45 meters. Look, you always shoot that, except for if you're like 70 meters and like, I'm going to make that shot, right? So that's why you've got the adjustability. You've got, you can buy replacement dials here. Why do you buy replacement dials? Because you shoot different size arrows. You put your sight tape on the back here. It's got three little things here that move. Hopefully I'm showing that. Just there, the little things. So that's your sight pins. So you put your sight tape on the back here. Sight tapes from Spot Hogg are fairly cheap. I think about $10. That's it. Multiple positions here. This is where your quiver goes on, just there. Look, it's a nice sight. People are always going to ask me, look, what pin thing do you like? Look, it's got a wire down here. That's quite nice. And I'm always like, and they always look at me like, well, you should know. And I'm like, because I've tried everything, right? I've tried literally everything in my 40 years of shooting, and there's advantages and disadvantages of literally every sight solution. So when someone goes, use a 5-pin, use a 3-pin, use a 1-pin, what you're doing is you're like, ask why, right? Now I'll tell you why on this video, why I shoot the different pins I shoot. So normally I use 5-pin because it's simple. I go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I don't have to think. So I don't want to be out there hunting and going, this is a 40-meter shot. I put it on the 4th pin. Now if I've got 3 pins and it's a 40-meter shot, I go 2nd pin, aim a little bit high. All right, so I've got to think. With a 1-pin moving system, I have to adjust it. So basically for target shooting, that's more useful. And I'm just moving out of the rain. That's more better, right? So the hunting situation and for field where I'm not wanting to adjust my sight, I like the 5-pin option. The reason you go for 3-pin over 5-pin is because it's cluttered, because 10, 20 and 30 will be really close together. So really you're only doing 50, 40 and literally 20, right? Because 10, 20 and almost 30 will be on the same pin. But I do 5-pin because I don't have to think about the pins. I go 5 pins, 50 meters. Right, so that's my thinking. The triple stack versus this stack here. The advantage of the triple stack is you see more of the target. I'm going to show you what that looks like just there. Look, I don't mind it either way. It doesn't affect my shooting. I've tried both. It doesn't affect anything, so I'm not so worried about it. This is the fiber optic. It's all enclosed. This is nice. It's fairly overcast, and you can see here it's just started pouring down. Look, it's quite bright there. Good sight. Spot Hogg, good stuff. When it comes to the top of the line sights, you've got Axel. People are going to say Black Gold and all the rest of it. Look, Spot Hogg, it's good. Some people want lighter, so think about stuff before you buy it. But Spot Hogg is really good. These sights, this is probably my most popular, when I say expensive sight. You know, not the $40 site. Above $40, this is probably my most popular. Very good company. I'm going to guess made in America. I'm going to guess. Let's see on the box. Okay, so it says made in America. I don't know if that means it's all made in America or just assembled in America, but I think it's generally made. I think it's generally made in America and with a lifetime warranty. There's so many products now which are sourced out of China that I get lost between it all, but to my best of my knowledge, Spot Hogg's always been American. It's always been a great product. The company's always been good. The owner's been great for years. He must be getting on now because I'm getting on and he's been in it for as long as I have, maybe longer. So anyway, good product, good stuff. If you've got a good quality bow, think about a decent quality sight. I'm Stephen Hearn from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching. Bye.